The issue with feminist groupthink, you can't be a rock star mother and have a career. It's impossible. Choose one mission to maximize your ability. If your mission is to be the best mother.
That's from Joe Murphy. Thank you for the soup chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Any disagreements from any of the panelists here?
But what's a definition of like the best mother? Because I think my mom works and that made me a better person because I see that she's ambitious and career driven.
One question on that. What
That would make me feel like shit. Make me feel like she was prioritizing career over me.
Well,
are your parents are still together?
Yes.
And both of them work?
Yes.
And do they, in terms of the income brought to the household, is it about the same? Your dad more, your mom more?
My dad makes more.
Dad makes more, okay. And she works full-time?
She does.
And what about when you were young? Do you have siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Just you, okay.
Yeah.
Was she working full-time even when you were younger, or what was your experience growing up?
I think she took off time for like maternity leave, but she was working like majority of my childhood.
So prior to having you, she was working full-time?
Yeah, she was.
What's her job?
She works for the school district.
She like a secretary, or what is she, like a counselor, or what does she do?
No, she like manages like a foreign language program.
Okay, and she's working full-time?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much time did she take off? A year?
I'm not quite sure
You
how
don't
much
recall?
she took
Okay.
off.
Yeah. All right. Andrew, it sounded like you maybe had something, or?
Yeah, so I was just saying I understand there could be circumstances where women need to work for the production of income for a household. There's no doubt about that. And by necessity, I think that good moms, of course, will do that. What I'm saying is that if they don't actually have to work, they don't have to. They're hedging their bets against their own future, thinking that it's possible that there could be a divorce, something like this. They want to fall back on some income or career that they have. Then they're prioritizing themselves over the future of their own children. And I think that that's in many ways despicable.
But I think my mom, like, I feel like the fact that she had a job not only made me realize that, you know, I need to be ambitious and want like a great career in the future as well, but then she also had the time to take care of me.
That's not possible.
Why is that not possible?
How many hours a week does your mom work?
Like it's probably like the standard like 8 to 5.
Okay, so she works 8 to 5, which means that she had to outsource your care from at least the hours of 8 to 5, right?
Okay, but when you say outsource, yes.
Somebody else besides her had to do it between the hours of 8 to 5,
yes,
right?
so, okay, so my grandma raised me from those hours that she wasn't home. Why is that
optimal?
Why is
that optimal as opposed to your own mother?
Because she is a great woman too that influenced my beliefs, and why can't that be optimal for somebody else to?
Was it necessary? Like, did she necessarily need to work in order to support you, or was it a choice that she made because she wanted the extra income?
I don't think. Well, she always told me this. I don't think she wanted to work because of the extra income, because quite frankly, we were okay financially. But
yeah, well then why was she prioritizing that over you? That's weird.
Because work gives you a sense of fulfillment in terms of
raising your own children.
But she did raise me.
So you want to work?
She didn't.
You want to work in the future so that you can provide the same example for your daughter?
You said your grandma raised you.
I think my mom worked, right? And she gave me, seeing her work and also being able to raise me and spend time with me.
She didn't raise you. She outsourced half of your raising to somebody else or more.
She did raise me. You're defining raising as a 100%.
So your grandma at least raised you from the hours of 9 to 5, right?
And she was a great influence on me. So that was optimal.
She wasn't. Not saying that your grandma wasn't a great influence, okay? I'm just saying that she outsourced your raising to a person who was not her from at least the hours of 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, right?
But you're saying that what is optimal...
Can you answer my question before you ask me one?
Sorry. Could you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. Your grandma raised you at least from the hours of 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. Is that correct?
Correct.
So then somebody besides your mom was actually raising you between at least most of the block of the day.
Correct.
Okay, correct. So if that is the case, then I don't know what you're disputing with me. Saying that your grandma's a good person, I'm not disputing that. Grandma's probably awesome.
I understand that, but you're saying that not outsourcing is optimal.
Yes, that would have been optimal for you, correct.
But I think outsourcing was the optimal way to raise me because...
Why? So you're saying that you would prefer to have had less time with your mother during your formative years?
I'm not saying I would have rather had less time, but
So would you have rather had more time with your mother or less time with your mother?
I was happy the way I grew up because...
Yeah, can you answer my question, though? Would you rather have less time with your mother in your formative years or more time with your mother in your formative years?
There's no less or more. I was happy with what I had.
So you can't answer my question, right? Because the answer is you'd rather have more time with your mother during your formative years, and you know it, right?
No, but I actually liked that my grandma raised me because now I have an established relationship with my grandma that I wouldn't have had.
You would have had an established relationship with your grandma anyway.
What guarantees that? If she didn't raise me during those years... Your grandma wouldn't have come and
visited you because your mom stayed home with you, or what?
But I had a deeper connection with my grandma because I spent those
that's the problem, right? That's the bad thing. It's like that deeper connection aspect. When you say I have a deeper connection with grandma... I think
you're just taking it personally.
Than I have potentially with my own mother, right? So that's the thing that I'm disputing here. It's like, I'm not saying that your grandma's not a wonderful person and didn't do everything she could possibly do to raise you. I'm not saying anything like that at all. I'm just pointing out that if a woman is to prioritize outsourcing your care to somebody else, then it sounds like she's not prioritizing you. She's letting somebody else prioritize you and I think that that's ultimately fairly selfish.
But you can prioritize multiple things. Why do you have to just pick one?
Yes, you can, but I think that a good mother prioritizes her children above all things.
I can see your perspective. I may not necessarily agree with it, but...
Yeah, I think that that's fair. Like, listen, I understand that people come from all different walks of life and have all sorts of contributing circumstances to how they were raised. I most certainly did. I had a stay-at-home dad rather than a stay-at-home mom because my father had multiple sclerosis. He couldn't work. So he stayed at home with me. And those are the best years of my life. He was a fantastic father, this type of thing. But always one of my parents was at home to take care of us. And the reason that was so important, rather than outsourcing, is because they valued us more than they valued any external gains. So that's just my perspective.
I see your perspective, and I can respect it.